So this is a video to show you how to make a contract in Tracka. Currently we're sitting on the home page in the car park construction project that we just made earlier. Now to make a contract, just come over here to the left hand side, hover the mouse over contracts and click on create a new contract. So just like the project setup, the contract setup also has this wizard as well. So now I'm just going to fill out the details of this contract and I'll step you through the process. So now that that's filled out, click on next. So now we are going to designate the relevant WBS sections to the groundwork contract. So now we are going to designate the available work areas for the groundwork contract in the WBS. And when we create a log file, these will come up highlighted in blue. So this screen of the wizard brings up the contract questions for this groundwork contract. We have 3 preset questions that will appear all the time. One is a safety question, a quality question, and a commercial question. If you'd like to add your own questions into this contract, click on Add a New, select the type of question, you would like the preferred answer to be yes or no. If you select the preferred answer as yes, and yes is checked on the log file when answering this question, there'll be nothing else to do. If the preferred answer is yes, and the answer no is checked, then you will be required to write a small explanation explaining why the preferred answer was not given. We'll set the question status to active, save changes. So now we have an added quality question. I'll also select this question as well. Now these questions will appear every time you make a log file. Click next. So on the resources screen of the wizard, we can either add resources to an account or we can assign resources to the contract. So far we already have some resources added to the account. If we'd like to add some new ones, we'll come up here to resource name. Now the normal time rate is the only compulsory time rate. You can see here it has a little red star. That needs to be filled out. The others don't need to be, but you can enter that data if you require. I'll add another one. So you can see down here how we have direct and indirect labor. Direct labor is basically tools. Indirect labor are things like managers, foreman, the engineer, the project manager, and so on. So I have Mike, who's a welder. I also have the excavator, the dump truck, the subcontracted soil compactor, and I'd also like to bring in John. Now click next, because they are all the resources I've assigned to this contract. So now we can add key milestones to the project. A key milestone is when a task will either be started or finished. Good practice would be to refer this to the project schedule and list that you've probably already created outside of Tracka. To add a milestone, come up here to add a new. Type in the name, you can set the date. we'll set it to active. Save and submit. Now, if you ever get stuck whilst creating a contract, you can come up here to support, click on page help, and the help file will come across the screen and spell out everything that you can do on that page and how it will affect the project and the contract. Click on next. So the owner of the contract appears at the top of the org chart. Now I'm going to give Jim some more details. So the org chart is the easiest place to find contact details for people either in a project or a contract. So filling out the profiles of everyone in the org chart is good practice. It makes it much easier in the future if you need to come back to a contract or a project and see who was working under who, what their details were, and how to get in contact with them. So working underneath Jim, we have Mike. And also working underneath Jim, we have John. So this is what a basic org chart would look like for the contract. Come over here and click next. So the org chart's the easiest place to find details for people who are working on a contract or a project. You can see here they're all filled out. If you click on them, it comes up with email address, phone number, role. This just makes it a lot easier in the future if you need to come back and see who was working on a contract or a project, what their role was, who they were working for, and how to contact them. So come over here and click next. This is the review screen for the contract. We have the available work areas in the WBS that this contract is assigned to. We have our questions, we have the resources, and we also have our contract staff details. Now you can either print this, you can click finish, and that is how you create a contract in Tracka.